Welcome to Storyflix. In this video, we will explain This Is Not What I Expected. This movie tells the story of a flamboyant sous chef who uses her culinary skills to win over a hotel acquisition specialist who happens to be wealthy and handsome. Can delicious food unite two separated hearts? Let's find out in This Is Not What I Expected. This Is Not What I Expected begins with the story of a perfectionist named Lu Jin, a billionaire and CEO engaged in hotel acquisitions. He has a habit of eating alone to enjoy the food he eats. He can identify the ingredients and tools used to cook a meal, even just by eating. That's why he can spend quite a long time eating lunch in his office. One day, as Lu Jin headed for his car in a parking lot, he saw a girl named Gu Shengnan who vandalized his car hood with a knife. Apparently, Shengnan just realized that she had the wrong car. The car she was after was on another floor. But Lu Jin still recorded the vandalism on his cell phone, wrote his phone number on Shengnan's forehead, and took a photo as evidence that would be handed over to the police if she didn't manage to fix his car before noon. Shengnan turns out to be a chef at the Rosebud Hotel and has a boyfriend who works as a manager at the same place. When they met in the food storage room, the manager ended their relationship because of Shengnan's eccentric appearance. Shengnan was in shock, but she pretended to look fine. During the day, Lu Jin visited the Rosebud Hotel in the car that Shengnan had broken into. Lu Jin came to the hotel because he intended to acquire the hotel. Upon entering the room he ordered, Lu Jin covered his nose with his handkerchief to check the air and humidity of the room. He also checks the amount of sunlight that enters the room and the level of sound that might penetrate the room.
还有餐厅这项要不试试？
When trying the food was delivered to his room, there was no single food to suit his taste. He even vomited all the food he had tasted. But in the end, the hotel manager offered him one more meal. It turned out that this last meal matched Lu Jin's tastes and expectations. Lu Jin didn't know that the dish he liked was actually made by Shengnan. According to him, the ingredients and quantities used to make the meal were exactly what he wanted. Because of his love for Shengnan's cooking, he postponed all scheduled meetings and events that day just to eat Shengnan's food. On her success in pleasing the hotel's VIP guests, the manager commended Shengnan and the other chefs for preparing the dish. After that, the manager left the kitchen and took a picture with the two women in the other room. Shengnan saw it and was instantly heartbroken. That night, she got drunk on the hotel roof right above Lu Jin's room. Lu Jin himself had a hard time sleeping in his room. He opened the suitcase and took out his cooking utensil to cook noodles. Lu Jin, a perfectionist, brought a complete cooking utensil, even if it was only for cooking noodles. The cooking method is also measured accordingly, such as the quantity of water used and the temperature of the boiling water. Not only that, the length of cooking must be adjusted according to the time he wants. After the noodles were cooked and ready to eat, Lu Jin suddenly heard the sound of something falling outside the balcony of his room. He goes out to see what's going on and is very surprised to find Shengnan drunk. When Shengnan looked like she was about to jump off the balcony, Lu Jin immediately ran to save her. But apparently, Shengnan didn't jump. She instead lay on the balcony floor. When Lu Jin came over and stood beside her, Shengnan grabbed his leg and asked if she was ugly. Shengnan shared that she had just been dumped by her boyfriend because of her ugly appearance. She then got up and walked towards the exit of the room. Not wanting to get his bedroom floor dirty, Lu Jin stuffed the drunk and sleeping Shengnan into his suitcase and carried her out via the elevator. Two hotel staff saw Shengnan's hand dangling out of the suitcase as the elevator opened. Immediately, the two hotel staff screamed and reported the incident to the police. Lu Jin was arrested and thrown behind bars along with the other inmates. While he was there, he accidentally saw the police on duty cooking the noodles in the wrong order. Uneasy to see the police's mistake, he told the police how to cook noodles correctly. Unexpectedly, the policeman took Lu Jin's advice and followed the step-by-step instructions for cooking noodles.
全放。倒热水。8分满喽，还没。可以了。
The policeman praised him because the noodles tasted really good. Not long after, Lu Jin's trusted staff managed to take care of Lu Jin's case and get him out of prison. Shengnan had also been taken out of the police station by her friend. And this friend was the one who told Shengnan to wreck a car. In the courtyard of the police station, Lu Jin and Shengnan met. Then, Shengnan's friend asked Shengnan to apologize to Lu Jin. However, Shengnan's apology was rejected because Lu Jin didn't like people apologizing. Unfortunately, Lu Jin's shoes accidentally stepped on dog poop. Lu Jin, who doesn't like getting dirty, immediately threw away his shoes and went home by car without wearing them. Lu Jin's misfortune continued every time he met Shengnan. Like one afternoon, as he was walking in the park with his trusted staff, he saw Shengnan trying to help the children retrieve the umbrellas that were stuck in the beehives. Shengnan climbed up the tree and shook the beehive so that the stuck umbrella could fall. But as a result, all the bees in the hive came out, flew towards Lu Jin, and stung him. Lu Jin's face instantly swelled up with one eye unable to open. After the swarm of bees left, the children who were helped by Shengnan and Shengnan herself lined up and apologized to him. Not wanting to deal with Shengnan anymore, Lu Jin ordered his trusted staff to give the watch his staff was wearing to Shengnan. Using the watch, he could tell where Shengnan was because the alarm would sound if they were within a 50-meter radius, and he would avoid Shengnan. When he returned to his hotel room, Lu Jin wanted to eat eggs. The chefs immediately cook food with the main ingredient of eggs. Shengnan also cooks something special using egg ingredients. Lu Jin loved the taste of Shengnan's dishes, even though he still didn't know that Shengnan was the chef.
Fling it, woo, flip it, woo, races it.
The chef. Therefore, he intends to meet the chef. However, when Lu Jin came to the hotel kitchen, he didn't see the chef who cooked the meal because Shengnan met her ex-boyfriend in another room. There, her ex invited her to resume their relationship. But because she was still hurt, she threw pieces of meat at him. Returning to the kitchen, Shengnan read a note written by a guest from room 1123 praising the taste of her cooking. She was impressed when she read the note because her guest knew the meaning of the dishes she cooked. Happily, she kept the note without knowing who sent it. The next day, when there was a filming at the hotel, Shengnan found out that the guest staying in room 1123 was Lu Jin. While filming, Lu Jin realized that Shengnan was nearby because the watch he was wearing was vibrating. Afraid of bad luck, if they got close, Shengnan immediately left Lu Jin. But because the thread on her clothes got caught in one of the shooting properties, she came back to unhook her clothes. Unfortunately, she fell into the pool instead, witnessed by Lu Jin and the rest of the hotel staff. In the afternoon, Lu Jin ordered food with only a note to prepare dishes with the theme of time, place, and momentum. While cooking a time-themed menu, Shengnan cooks scallops mixed with beef. Since the taste of the food was perfect, Lu Jin told the hotel manager that the chef who cooked this meal was in a good mood. Until finally, all the dishes cooked by Shengnan were devoured by Lu Jin. Once, Lu Jin ate another dish made by Shengnan. Wanting to know the meaning behind the food, Lu Jin intended to meet the chef who cooked the dish. However, because Shengnan didn't want to meet Lu Jin, she instead told another chef to meet him and tell him the meaning behind the dishes she made. Disappointed by the chef's explanation, Lu Jin enters the kitchen and looks for the real chef, but Shengnan runs away instead. Lu Jin finally ran into Shengnan in the hotel restroom. Lu Jin immediately scolded her for not avoiding him. But as he approached Shengnan, he accidentally smelled the aroma of cooking splashed on Shengnan's clothes. He sniffed and looked for the source of the aroma of the dish. Unfortunately, Lu Jin doesn't know that Shengnan cooks all the dishes he eats. Because of his curiosity, Lu Jin finally asked the hotel manager to gather all the chefs who worked at the hotel with the excuse of a fire. All the chefs lined up to face his room in the hotel courtyard right in front of Lu Jin's balcony. Lu Jin himself stood on the balcony and peered into the faces of the chefs one by one using binoculars, while Shengnan wore a tear gas mask that covered her entire face so that she wouldn't be recognized by Lu Jin. Then, Lu Jin started looking for the secret chef from the row of people standing in the courtyard. Finally, Lu Jin found out that Shengnan had cooked all the dishes he liked all along. After learning about this fact, Lu Jin played a prank on Shengnan. Every time he saw Shengnan, he always sounded the alarm on his watch, so the alarm on Shengnan's watch also sounded and made her panic and startle. On the other hand, Shengnan now seemed to dare to face Lu Jin. She didn't need to distance herself anymore if Lu Jin met her in the kitchen to ask about the meaning of the dishes she made. Until one day, Lu Jin got a call from his client, who asked about the Rosebud Hotel acquisition process. When he checked his review, it turned out that the Rosebud Hotel was still below standard, so if the hotel acquisition continued, he would probably lose money. Even so, he couldn't forget all the delicious dishes that Shengnan made. One day, when Lu Jin ordered a meal at the hotel, Shengnan happened to be on vacation. So, he took the initiative to visit Shengnan's residence to eat her food. Knowing that Lu Jin was downstairs and would visit her apartment, Shengnan immediately cleaned up the room. When Lu Jin got there, Shengnan started cooking and served Lu Jin food. But when Shengnan was about to eat with him, Lu Jin said that he had a rule where he preferred to eat alone. Despite being separated from each other, where Lu Jin ate in the living room while Shengnan ate in the kitchen, they still chatted. Lu Jin even fell asleep on the sofa from being full. In the days that followed, Lu Jin visited Shengnan more and more frequently to taste her cooking. Until one day, he brought his personal belongings to stay at Shengnan's apartment and cook his meals. Lu Jin's snoring made it difficult for Shengnan to fall asleep at night. As a result, she looks very tired while working during the day. As the days passed, Lu Jin and Shengnan's relationship grew closer. They are now starting to eat together. One day, the fish that Shengnan cooked still contained poison. Thus, they both became hallucinating and saw a hefty rain in their apartment. Then, they opened the umbrella in the apartment room and continued to walk outside. Even getting into the bus, they were still using the umbrella. Their behavior became the laughingstock of the people on the streets, but since then Lu Jin's feelings for Shengnan began to grow. The next day, Shengnan cooked a special dish for Lu Jin. Unfortunately, when she delivered the food to room 1123, she didn't find Lu Jin there. Finally, she found out that Lu Jin had been home for 2 days. She then followed Lu Jin to his house, where she found that Lu Jin was eating his personal chef's cooking. What made Shengnan angry was that Lu Jin's personal chef cooked food using Shengnan's personal recipe. Shengnan was jealous because she thought cooking was very intimate, so she didn't want Lu Jin's personal chef to copy her recipes. One afternoon, Lu Jin's personal chef came to Lu Jin to tell him that she would be taking a day off. Therefore, she asked Shengnan to make food for Lu Jin on her day off. Shengnan agreed even though she was still angry. And her anger is very visible when she cooks. She even chopped onions in anger. Lu Jin also knew Shengnan's emotional state when he ate her cooking. Long story short, Lu Jin finally announced a purchase of the Rosebud Hotel. However, if he continues to run the hotel style as it is today, it will not be profitable. Therefore, he will change the concept of the hotel into an international boutique hotel to meet the standards he wants. As a result of this acquisition process, he was forced to fire all the chefs who worked there. Knowing that fact, Shengnan was angry and left Lu Jin. Lu Jin looked so sad when he saw Shengnan leave the place, and Shengnan also felt the same way, to the point that she burst into tears when she told her close friends. Sometime later, Lu Jin had returned to his home and talked to his personal chef. After working for Lu Jin for a long time and knowing that he had never eaten anything else except the one she made according to Shengnan's recipe, the personal chef resigned. Then Lu Jin went to see his father and expressed his disappointment because his father interfered in his business affairs in Shanghai and forced him to fire all the chefs who worked at the hotel. At the end of the film, Lu Jin returns to Shanghai to meet Shengnan once again. Meanwhile, Shengnan was on her way to sell the watch that Lu Jin had given her. But suddenly, the alarm clock sounded, indicating that Lu Jin was nearby. Shengnan ran to a market and hid there, forcing Lu Jin to use the loudspeaker in the market to find her. Finally, Lu Jin was able to find Shengnan. She was locked in one of the rooms in the market. They then went home together. Lu Jin said, even though he couldn't offer Shengnan a job, he could still offer Shengnan to be by his side. They were then seen watching the sunset together hand in hand. The message of this film is love goes to the stomach, where we can win someone's love by expressing it through the food we serve to our loved ones.